We'll Keep Running by To the Valley.
I like the song. It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh, everybody! I'm here with Jeremy Guenther, Paratrooper, U.S. Army. It's so great to see you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I
I love
spent
it.
today with my son. We went and saw the new Top Gun, so that was pretty fun.
So I look. It seems like everybody loves that movie, right? Is it good?
It's really really good.
All
Goes back to
right.
the original movie. It has a lot of parts in it from the original movie, so I thought it was really good.
Yay, yay, yay. Well, that's good, right? Isn't it neat to go back and, to be of a certain age and look back on an old movie and have a remake or a new edition that's done very well, right? Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, a lot of movies now are some of them are pretty good, but others are not really. They were poorly made, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I mean, I'm not anybody to like say that's poorly made, but whatever. I enjoy the thought of going to see a movie with like your son or something. It's a social fun thing to do together, right?
Yeah, and also it's like it makes memories.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. So that's awesome. So where were you born, Jeremy? What year were you born?
I was born in 1982. I was born at Kettering Hospital in Kettering, Ohio.
Ohio. That's awesome. So what did you grow up in Ohio, or tell me about your youth?
Yeah, I grew up basically in Springfield, Ohio. That's where I went to middle school and elementary school, and then I went to high school over in Springfield as well. That's where I went actually um, joined the army in Springfield.
Oh, really? Really? What was it like growing up? Did you live in a neighborhood? Would you live out on a farm? Did you go to the Baseball Hall of Fame every day?
Um, I spent like the first 12 years living on a farm of my life, and then after that, I moved to the city. I moved in with my mom when I was like 12 or 13, I believe, and lived actually in the city until I turned 18. And then I enlisted and left home.
Oh, wow. So, what do you remember from, growing up as a kid on the farm and stuff? Did you have chores? Who did you live with on the farm?
I lived with my dad and his mom or his wife. We had some chores. We didn't really have any animals back then. It was more of a gardening type farm. I think we had some chickens too, but other than that, it was more corn and watermelon and green beans, stuff like that. We didn't have any um, tools to actual or any power equipment to um, do the gardening and stuff, so we did it by hand. We went through, planted it by hand. Um, we picked the weeds by hand, and then picked all the fruits and vegetables by hand.
Do you remember those times as a fun? Were you did you enjoy that, or were you like, I don't want to pick no more weeds?
That I was like that. I really didn't like doing chores all that much. And back then, allowance was like a quarter, 50 cents, something like that. Wasn't
Right.
all like,
You're just you think you're slave labor, right?
yeah. Now kids are getting like 5, $10 for chores a week.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember, thinking about like babysitting fees. I remember my parents like saying, "No, you pay the babysitter $2 per hour per kid." And I'm like adding this stuff up, like how I'm going to make $1 million me and a babysitter when I'm 14 years old or something.
Yeah, it was like if I had a babysitter, it'd be like $5 for the whole night or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So like, were you good in school? Or were you the sports star? Were you, quiet?
Um, I was, I would say, quietish. I was a band nerd. I
Oh,
played
what'd you
trumpet for
play?
I played trumpet for till I was in high school. And then
Oh,
when I think it was my beginning of my sophomore year, um, I went to trombone and played that for a year. I was in the marching band,
all
so
right.
I was a band geek.
Yeah, so that's fun, right? And you get a skill. Do you still play?
No, no, no. I haven't played anything in a while.
No, no.
Yeah, still
I
got the lips from that too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're like doing a lot of puckering and
Yeah,
and
lips don't change.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So you know, what made you quit playing? You just like I mean there's not a lot of people that just stand out on the street and play the trumpet, right? Just like,
Yeah,
yeah.
unless you down in New Orleans or something.
Yeah.
Um, I went to so my sophomore year um was my last year playing in the marching band. Then the next year I started going to the JVS up there. I was in a carpentry program.
Oh,
So
cool.
that year or my junior year, we got to build garages for the whole year.
It's interesting how doing those kinds of things, you learn a whole skill set, right? Just being a part of it. I wish I'd have been a part of some of that construction stuff. I was Mr. Computer Geek. I was in the video class and doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was kind of like a computer nerd too.
Yeah,
I
right.
Yeah, I was like heavy into like Yahoo Messenger and
Oh yeah,
stuff like
cool.
that. That was like the time when AOL was big, dial-up was big.
You got a
Yeah,
14.4
exactly.
modem, baby. Come on.
You
Woo-hoo.
had to wait like 10 minutes for it to come up, and then when somebody called you, it crashed and went
Kick
back
you
to
off.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So you used to do Yahoo Messenger and all that stuff way back in the day?
Oh yeah. I did that,
Oh so
Napster.
oh wow. So what communities were you in the Yahoo stuff?
Oh, I was your basic teenager that was into women. Just all I wanted to do was chat with people, and I
Find
mean,
women.
yeah, I
Oh,
played
I
I
love
played
it.
with
I
some
love it.
games too on it, but like some old Dungeons and Dragons games.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh wow, that's awesome. So did you find any so this is in your high school years you were chasing women on the Yahoo?
Yeah, that, like webcams were starting out and everything like that, and
How'd
I
that work
got
out
into
for you?
I got into a lot of trouble.
No, no. Oh no, you're not a registered you're not a registered
Oh
offender,
no,
are you?
no, no.
you,
I stopped
you
that
slid
stuff
out of that
about
one.
Actually, I think I stopped that stuff back in '05, like right after I got out of the service.
we got Penny on here dying laughing. Oh, thanks, Penny. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We're here with Jeremy Guenther, everybody, U.S. Paratrooper. He's telling us about his time in high school when he was chasing women on the Yahoo Messenger. He said he wasn't very successful. So
No, that was
so
terrible.
so so what made you join the army?
Um, well, I was um fresh out of high school. I had a job working for a construction company, and that fell through. And basically, I had the choice either find another job or join the military. So I thought I took the easy way out and joined the military, but that really wasn't the easy way.
Right.
Um,
It's a little bit difference between working at the 7-Eleven or a construction job where you realize at some point when you're working construction, you're really not working that hard. There's a whole bunch of you
yeah,
and you just kind of, it's just like, but you find the same thing in the army too, except like the army, like, you
yeah.
will be here, you will be there, you will stand like this, you will do this. Did you
The
do good in the army?
uh, there were times when I did good and times when I did bad. Um, when I first when I first went to the recruiting station, I was talking to Air Force, I was talking to Army, and the Air Force guys were like, "Hey, we'll give you this stuff, and we'll put you here, we'll put you there." Um, Army guys like, "Hey, we're gonna go ahead and we'll put you, we'll give you your choice of duty stations, and we'll put you on 30-day hometown recruiting. Um, we'll give you, and it'll all be in writing." So I chose the Army, and they're like, "Well, how would you like to become a paratrooper?" I was like, "Well, what's that?" And he's like, "Well, you're going to jump out of planes." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, you'll get an extra $150 a month to jump out of planes." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm an only child, so my mom really didn't care for it too much. It kind of scared her a little bit. And I was, the money was the big one for me. So I went in there, signed the papers, got everything taken care of. Um, Went to basic training down at Fort Jackson. Um, that was quite interesting. I have that last name that every drill sergeant decides to butcher.
So
I
did they
honest,
like make fun of you, like you were German or something, or what? I mean, what did they do? How did they do it?
my drill sergeants, honestly, I don't think any of them got my name right the whole time. They would call me Guenther and Guthrie and Gunter, and
They're
it
just trying
was,
to mess with you, right?
yeah. So it was interesting,
Isn't
and
it funny how drill sergeants do that? Drill sergeants just find something to pick on you about, almost,
yeah,
right? Because they can. They're bullies. They're like sanctioned bullies.
yeah, and then they, from time to time, or even once, they get your name right, and you're like shocked. You don't even know what to do.
So did you do good in basic? Were you a good soldier? Push ups and running fast
Um,
and all that stuff.
I really didn't like have too much of physical side of me before I went in the service. So when I was in basic training, they, my push ups, they got better. My run times got better, but I never like maxed out anything. I mean,
Right.
I was able to pass the test, but I really, like, now I couldn't do a push up to save my life.
So you were one of the grads, not an honor grad. I was just one of
Yeah,
the grads.
yeah. There was a lot that happened in basic that it, I had that weird basic training where strange things happened because well, one of them, a married couple, went in and nobody knew about it until um, they did some digging and they found out that the wife and the husband were in the same company. They were in my company, but they were in different platoons. And
Right.
they so the husband had, or the husband and the wife had the choice um, on whether or not to be held back or not. And the husband said, "Yeah, I'll go ahead and hold. I'll be, I'll hold back and go on the, the next run." And the wife stayed in. She did her She had like a 300 PT score. It was crazy. And then
It,
it was, it was co-ed. The whole um, basic training was co-ed. So there were some people that got in trouble for doing things, should I say, and they got kicked out, and it was crazy. I then when I graduated and everything, I was walking. I think it was to the PX or something like that, or going to get dinner with my mom and her husband, and this drill sergeant comes by and starts yelling at me, and I was trying to figure out why. And they told me, they asked me where my cover was. And
oh,
yeah, so I had to do push ups in front of my mom and her husband and stuff like that.
'cause you had forgotten your hat.
Yeah, it was in my pocket.
Oh, you'd forgotten to put it on.
Yeah, I forgot to put it on.
I got you. I got you. Right. Well, I remember, like when I was in jump school, I went running around the corner and I passed a colonel, a full bird colonel. He had the big wings up on his hat, and I just looked at him the whole time. I didn't even know what I was looking at. And he was like, "Soldier, you gonna salute me?" And I'm like, "Oh, yes, sir."
I've had my share of forgetting to salute people too. Took
Oh,
me a while
yeah.
to get used to saluting people outdoors and not indoors.
So were you like, so what was your MOS in the Army? What was your job?
I was a 31 uniform, signal support system specialist.
Oh, there you
Um,
go. Combo
I got
guy.
Yeah, I got to do all the radio stuff on the Avengers and stuff like that.
So you ended up going to jump school. What was jumping out of airplanes like? What did you think about that?
Um, well, the first one kind of scared me. I wasn't the doorman, but I was probably about three quarters of the way back. But at the rate everybody was going out the door, I just went with them. I think in my first jump, I forgot to take my glasses off. My grandmother just bought them, so they were like a 300 to 400 pair or dollar pair of glasses.
Oh no, you
And
lost your glasses?
yeah, the risers actually ripped them off my face, and they're
Yeah.
probably still down on the drop zone. They're probably buried somewhere down at Benning.
Oh wow, they're out on the leading edge of fire drop zone somewhere.
Yeah, probably.
Oh wow. So so that's got to be a mess when you lose your glasses and you gotta and then float all the way down and hit the ground. Are you nearsighted or farsighted?
Um, I think I'm nearsighted. Whichever one, you
Yeah,
got to have things close up, so I'd probably be nearsighted.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
yeah.
basically went through airborne school with no glasses on. I couldn't see a thing the whole time.
Oh wow. So what was it? Did you ever get hurt jumping or anything?
Um, I didn't have any like serious injuries. I cut the back of my ear when they ripped the glasses off my face. Um, but as far as like bad injuries, I still to this day have never broken a bone in my body.
Me neither. I haven't broken anything either, but I mean that'll probably happen tomorrow.
I know.
What? So you go to your MOS school and you learn about being a commo guy and the Singars radio and all this, all this stuff. Did you enjoy that?
Um, well, I went to Gordon for that and everything, and it was interesting. I had like I think I had three other people in our barracks, um, and right down the hallway was the drill sergeant's like office, and every time you went by there, it smelled like cigarettes, and we weren't allowed to smoke, and I was a smoker at the time, so I was like going crazy. Um, and there was a hill there. I can't remember what hill that was, what the name of the hill was, but it was bad. It tore everybody up, no matter who it was,
Uh, yeah.
and it was a lot easier going downhill than uphill. Um,
Wow. Yeah.
I remember that was also the time that I had that was my best run PT score because I forgot to go to the restroom and I had to pee really bad. So I was booking all the way around the track and then as soon as I got done, I ran straight to the porta potty because we had one right
Uh-huh.
there. I think they were doing construction or something near there. So I
Oh,
got
that's
done with
cool.
that and went straight to there. Um, I also got um, my vehicle during, I think, week 6. I think it was after 6 weeks of being there, passing your PT tests, everything. Um, I got my vehicle there, my POV. I also learned what no dose was.
Oh, watch out.
Um, yeah, I took a lot of no dose during the classroom portions of AIT.
Oh,
Um,
really? Oh,
yeah,
wow. So you're sitting in AIT wired. You're caffeinated to no end.
yeah, and like a lot of the book, like I think every book that I received in AIT, I still have. They're in a army satchel somewhere, but
Oh,
every
that's
once in a
cool.
while I'll get those out and look at them.
So then you graduate from AIT, you go to jump school, and then you go to Bragg. You go to third or the fourth.
Yes, I
Oh,
actually
wow.
um, after jump school, I actually went to hometown recruiting first. I did that, um, which that was
That's
actually
stupid.
it was fun. I didn't have to do PT. I got to walk around the mall all day, but and I got paid to do it. So
Hey, I'm Jeremy. I just joined the army. You should join the army too. See Sergeant so and so.
yeah, and I didn't back then. I didn't have a what is it, a numbers thing where I had to get so many recruits.
Right. You didn't have a quota. You were just
No,
there as a local clown.
yeah, basically, I got to see my friends and go to the arcade and stuff like that. Um,
Exactly.
then I went to Bragg. I went to 82nd Detachment. Um, did my, I think it was like a week or two there. Got in process. Um, started out in Charlie Battery. Um, what was it? Staff Sergeant Eason
Yeah, I
was
remember
my
Sergeant Easton.
NCO. Yeah,
What
he
year did
was.
you get there?
It was 2001 is when I
Wow.
got there. Um,
Wow. Okay.
I think Captain Kent was. um, like the commander, the battery commander, um, and then there was first sergeant or first lieutenant Voderick, and so there was a lot of people that I mean I still have I have them on my Facebook, and there's I'd like to see who I how they grew up or how they matured over the last 22 years and stuff
Yeah,
that
isn't it wild to think about like the person that you were then versus the person you are now?
yeah I was better then than I was now.
Oh no. So tell me what you mean by that.
um like I think I was more mature back then. um I had my head on my shoulders a little better back then, stuff like that. um I had a lot of people that tried to steer me in the right direction and stuff like that. um that's
You couldn't
probably basically
yeah,
about it.
you couldn't screw up too much in the army, right? They'd set you on the right path and get you headed in the right direction. You couldn't, just lay around and be lazy like I
Yeah.
like to do. I'm good at
Well, I do
that.
that
I'm a
now.
what so what was it like when you got to the unit and you were there? Who were your mentors? Who was your squad leader? What was that introduction to the army like when you get to the real army?
I believe my squad leader was Sergeant Eason, Staff Sergeant Eason. He was there. There was a lot of people. Like I don't remember how long I was in Charlie Battery, but when I switched over to HHB, that's where like a lot of my memories came from.
Cool.
Um, there was a lot of good people that I got to serve with in HHB. I had at the time Staff Sergeant Hilton, um, Sergeant First Class Shin. I got to actually serve with the um, battalion command sergeant major was Command Sergeant Major Ridgway. And then at the time it was what was his name? I'm trying to think of his last name. He he's a general now, or he was a general when he retired. Um, I can't remember his name now. Had a little brain fart, but I was um, crap. I
Were you
can't.
thinking about General Underhill?
Yes, General Underhill. That's the guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a lieutenant colonel back then.
Yeah.
He was a good leader. Um,
Oh yeah.
he was a really great leader. Him and uh, Command Sergeant Major Ridgway were great leaders. And at the time, I
Yeah.
looked up to them, and I looked up to
Oh,
my. I had oh, I can't remember their names now. But I had Sergeant Moore. He was one of the. He was one of the guys that was comma with me. Um, he got injured right before I got out. He shattered his leg on one of the drop zones. I remember that actually happening. I wasn't there, but I think I had CQ or something that day. But he had. They told me what happened, and it was like a big shock because he landed on. I can't remember which drop zone had the concrete landing strip underneath the sand, but
most of them.
yeah,
Most of them.
probably. Um, Yeah, that is true. He was a kick-ass general.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So what is it about the army that you liked so much? Was there something that you were like I really enjoyed looking back on it, running down the road and calling cadence together for PT. That like really pumped me up. Was there something in the army that like you liked?
I like I guess the family portion of it, the companionship you got from, the other soldiers that you served with. Um, like I said, I met a lot of good people in there, and I've got a lot of people on my Facebook that, you know, I see what they're doing, and, every once in a while I'll talk to them, or I'll say hi, stuff like that. I'm part of uh, the 82nd Airborne Division Vets group on there, and I see a lot of people from like back in the 90s and the 80s and stuff like that, and they have all these good stories to, I always like, viewing their stories on there, and seeing what kind of companionship that they had with their other soldiers. um I got a buddy of mine that was in the army. He was a staff sergeant, I think, when he got out. And he's always messing with me about being a paratrooper and everything. And I'm like, well, why didn't you do it? And he's like, hell no, I don't want to do that. I'm not that stupid. So, you know, I always mess with him about that. And, uh, but just having that sort of, you know, that companionship, you got these people that, you're going to be friends with for life. And, you know, that you can always come to them, or if you have any issues, or they can come to you if they have any issues. um One year I'm going to have to make it to the 3-4 ADA reunion.
August 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th in Nashville. Gotta
Yeah.
come, man. Come
uh
on. Come on.
th-
Yeah.
Next year it's on my list.
All
Next
right. I
year I
love
will
it. I love
definitely
it.
be going.
Yay. Yeah, so I'm excited. This is the first time I've been, right? Roz Para has been doing this and his crew, uh, Walter Williams, I think, and Roz Para and his crew. Now Joe Stout, Command Sergeant Major Stout's helping out, and so I'm so proud of the leadership that they have put in over the years and keeping things going and getting things started. Because look, being a paratrooper, an air defense paratrooper, is a big deal, right? And to be you are even a really bigger deal, right? You're a smaller group that running a commo, making our SHTU link up and all the crazy different things that we try to do with communications, and you are at the centermost of it. What did you find in the Army as your job that you like doing? Did you like running wire? Did you like running the Singars radio? Were you wanting to do a switching station? What did you like?
I honestly, I think the great thing about the radios was putting in all the different numbers and everything on all the different coding, to where for it to start up. That
Right?
was,
Yeah, yeah.
because you had to remember all the different coding, and all the different ways to put it in, and how to you know change it if it needed to be changed. I think
Yeah,
that
I
was.
remember frequency hopping master and getting your time syncs and all the little freak hop channels and all that stuff, right? Isn't that weird to think about, right? It's been so long since I've thought about that.
Yeah, and I don't even know how radios are today. I mean,
They're
I know
using
a
the
lot.
same dang things, man. They're using the same Singars
Wow.
radios. Yeah, yeah. But of course, that's remember that was at a time when the Singars were reprogrammable. They had chips in them, and they were they were beginning to be computerized. So they've been able to
Yeah,
upgrade them and stuff. It's pretty cool. You know, they had data burst. You know, they had that 1440 baud modem built into it, man.
yeah, and the antennas that were on the back of the Humvees and everything, when you had to put them down, some of them were real pain to put down because they were like really like thick, and it was hard to bend them to get them to stick down and everything.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
I know in AIT, one of the big things that we did was the OE254 antenna, and that was one of the things that we had to do before we graduated was we had to erect one of those. And yeah, those things were not fun to put up. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just knowing you're gonna break it, right?
Yeah, it looked like it was going to break because it was like really curved, and then all of a sudden it's up and everything, and you're like, wow, that's something.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
so
Look.
tall. And
Yeah. Some of the skills you learn and some of the things that you've got to see it done once before you'd ever do it, right? Just got to have somebody that shows you. But putting up an OE254 antennas, you know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty
it
cool.
is, and I mean, I wish I would have like went directly into you know satellite communications and everything outside of or when I left the service, but I messed that up to be honest with you.
So
Um,
I'll give you one tip. I'll give you one tip about putting up an OE254 antenna that I learned the wrong way. Okay, here's the one tip. At the end of the antenna, at the tallest point, you have to connect the cable first. Okay, and then run it down the pole. If you don't do that, putting the antenna doesn't do any good because you still got to get the cable in there
yeah,
to it.
I think I did that once, or somebody did it. They forgot to put the or hook the cable together, and we had or they put it up and then they had to put it back down, and I think they got really frustrated when they did that.
That must have been me. I think that was me. Yeah, that was me. That was me. That was me. So, like, how long did you stay in the army? What was the highest rank you got to?
I got the E3 when I was in, and then I got busted down to E2 um, for something I can't remember what it was. Um, but I had to do extra duty and got my pay docked and all that stuff. I actually had to wax General Underhill's office.
You
I had
can.
to do
You're
that.
not. I'm not gonna let you get away with telling me that you got an Article 15, but you don't remember what it was. I'm not gonna let you do that, Jeremy. You're gonna remember what it was. You got to tell me. Come on now.
I think it was for not going to sick call when I was supposed to, or something like that. I got the
I
paper
got you.
somewhere.
So telling somebody you were going to sit call, but you didn't go.
Yeah,
Oh, I got
um,
you. Okay, cool. All right.
but I mean, there was a lot of stuff that I did in the service that was bad. I spent I spent a lot of time on Bragg Boulevard.
What? Well, so what were you doing on Bragg Boulevard?
Um, there were a lot of different clubs down there that I went to. There was an IHOP. Um, at the time, Asian Odyssey was not a thing. We were banned from going there. So, and that just intrigued me, but I never went in. Um, I think there was some other ones. I can't remember. There was one. I think it was called South Beach. That was. I don't think that was on Bragg Boulevard, but they had nickel night there. So basically, you can go in and get drunk for like $2-3.
And was it what kind of bar was it?
Um, it was like a dance club type thing. They had like a dance floor, I believe, and I think they had like loud music, stuff like that.
Oh, fun! You just go in there and drink for a nickel.
Yeah, you get little cups. They were like little, like, um, I can't remember the Dixie cups.
Slide. Little
But
sliders.
yeah, they were about that big probably.
Oh
And
wow.
then I had lots of fun there. Um, like I said, we went to a lot of clubs that were on Bragg Boulevard. There was an IHOP there next to Sharky's. Uh,
So I know where that IHOP there. I know, like, I mean, I know that whole area up in there, right? I mean, I know where it is. The IHOP's no longer an IHOP anymore. I think it's a church now.
oh
Actually,
wow,
it's either a church or a massage parlor. I'm not sure.
I'm I would be not surprised if it was a massage parlor with the
Right.
amount of bad things that were on Bragg Boulevard.
Right. Well, what
Um,
were the bad things you were looking for? Were you? I mean, what were you on there looking for? Looking for girls still?
we I spent a lot of time at at the time House of Dolls was open, and then I went from House of Dolls to Seeker's Cabaret. Um, my the on like one or two different occasions when we would get off early and we'd be able to go have lunch with our platoon. We would go to Sharky's because they served steak and stuff like that. So I think once or twice we went there. Um, that's pretty much the only two places I actually went to on Bragg Boulevard. I spent
Oh,
a
that's great.
lot of money in cigarettes, a lot of money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
So on booze or on dances?
yes,
Oh my gosh.
I spent a
Oh my gosh.
lot of money on both.
Oh, that's great.
I
Oh,
was
that's
terrible
great.
with money.
So you get your paycheck and then you run down to Bragg Boulevard.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Sharky's champion Jeremy. Sharky's champion Jeremy to the front. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I got into a lot of trouble for doing that too when I was in too.
Oh, really? So how did you get in trouble?
Like I got yelled at a lot. Um,
Who would yell at you?
um, Staff Sergeant Helton, I think Sergeant First Class Shin did. Um, like it was terrible. Like I said, I was really, really bad with money when I was in. I spent my money on stupid stuff. I didn't save any of it or anything like that.
As soon as you get paid, did you go to the ATM machine and get out as much as you could?
Yeah, basically.
I had a friend. I had a friend like that. He was my next door neighbor, roommate next door. As soon as we got paid, like he would like he had this. He would call on the telephone. He'd go down the CQ desk, call on the telephone to find out when his money hit the bank account. As soon as it did, he'd come get me and want me to drive him to the ATM. I drive him to the ATM. He pull out every bit of money he could get, exactly like he knew what the limit was. And then he wanted me to take him down to Hay Street and drop him off. He had a girlfriend down there, and I was like, "All right, man, that was crazy." He'd take a taxi back home. He'd be back. He'd be back. Next day.
Time for formation.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, how'd you end up? How long did you stay in? How'd you get
I
out?
stayed in for a little over 4 years. I got out on in January of 2004. I got discharged. It was a general discharge under honorable conditions. Um, I got that changed probably about 4 or 5 years ago to an honorable discharge. Um,
Thanks for your service. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your service.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
I fought for that one, and I finally got it changed. But when I was in 9/11 had hit and everything. We were We had just gotten our shots and everything to go over. Um, my dad had a heart attack. Um, and then I can't remember if it was the day before that or the day after that, his dad passed away. And because it was wartime, I wasn't able to get home. My family called Red Cross and told them, what had happened and everything, and I wasn't able to get home to, you know, make sure my dad was okay or anything like that. So I think that's when I gave up. Like I said, I'm an only child, and going through that kind of hit something that kind of just made me give up, and that was, I honestly think, was a mistake. I shouldn't, I should have, did what I had to do, because then I would have been able, as soon as I got back or whatever from, combat, then I would have been okay. I would, my dad survived, I would have been able to see him, stuff like that.
Amen. Amen. What did you said like giving up. What does giving up mean? I mean, what does that mean? What does that look like? Did you just like stop showing up to PT, or did you stop shaving, or what? I mean,
No,
what does that look like?
I think mm, a, like a lot of it was like my attitude, you know, like I stopped, you know, I guess I stopped caring about what happened to me. I think that's a big start to like my depression that I had. I had a really bad depression situation for probably, well, I'm still going to therapy now and stuff for it, but um, I'm starting to, my therapist now is starting to, we're getting deep into the military portion of my life and everything. Um, but when I look back at it, and I've been looking back at it for the past probably 10, 12 years, and I have a lot of regrets about getting out. You
Yeah, a
know,
lot of people, a lot of people talk about having regrets. Getting out and you dealt with some tough loss, right? Of you said your dad was sick, right?
yeah, he had a heart attack.
Oh wow, wow. So how did that hit you? And then your grandfather dies. How did you said that sent you into a depression, and that you
Yeah,
just stopped? That is that what it was? I mean, how did what would go through your mind, if you don't mind my
well,
asking?
I wasn't able to go home. Like I said, my family called Red Cross. I wasn't able to go home and make sure everything was okay. So, like, and it was, something that I, like I said, I regret, happening, but like I just didn't feel like doing anything. I didn't feel like, you know, I think I just like gave up on my career. I gave up on life itself. Like, I did what I had to do to survive, but the rest of it was, I didn't really care about anything else.
I get it. I get it. So what year did you get out?
I got out in January of 2004.
Oh
Actually, I
wow.
got out on
Oh,
my birthday.
happy
So,
birthday.
yeah, it was,
So what did you do when you got out? I mean, you already said it kind of sent you into a tailspin.
well, I'd gotten married when I was in the service. I was married to her for another year, I think after I got out, I went down to Florida, did some jobs down there, um, went back to North Carolina, stayed with her family for a bit, and then moved back up to Ohio. Um, did some jobs up here. Um, in 2005 or six, we got divorced, and I went through a deeper depression and uh, started drinking heavily. Did some other stuff. And then I had a couple girlfriends. And, um, one of them, I got my son out of. He's 15 now. And then 2 years ago, I got married to a girl I was seeing for the past, well, now it was 6 years. Um, but her and I got married a couple years ago. Our anniversary is actually this month, so I have to figure out what we're going to do. Um,
Go to Vegas, have a party.
I know. I want to do something fun. She's a little younger than I am, so uh,
Well, you know,
she's
you
still got
are
some
getting
party time in her.
you are getting a little old, you know.
I know. Can you see the gray right
I can
here?
look at it. Look at it. Yeah, I was checking it out. I meant to make a comment on it, but I was like, you know what? Never mind. I'll just not say anything. I'll just not say anything. So, like, when you look back on your time in service, you know, and the things that you did you ever find yourself like in a time of danger or a time of worry or a time of helping your buddy that maybe had gotten hurt or something?
Um, like there's a time that I had like basically escaped death. A buddy of mine and a couple other guys went down to Raleigh for something, and they had gotten into a really bad car accident down there. And the seat that I was supposed to be in was completely just trashed. It and they said whoever was in that seat was supposed to, or was probably going to die.
Right.
So um, worries. I never really worried about anything. You know, I always knew I was in good hands. You know, with the people around me and stuff like that. The jumps were kind of worrisome from time to time. You know, there had been some couple stories that I had recalled. One of them was a jump master that got sucked out of the plane and died in some trees. And then like a couple people got injured when I was in airborne school. But that was it. I had I had a lot of good memories. Um, it was an adrenaline rush jumping out of a plane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
and I tell everybody that, like, everybody were like, like at work and stuff. I'm like, they see the AA and everything, and they're like, "You were a paratrooper, or what's AA mean, or something like that." I'm like, yeah, "It's all American." I was jumped out of planes, and they're like, "Oh, really?" And they're like, "Were you scared?" And I was like, "I don't think I was scared. It was, like I said, it was an adrenaline rush. You know, as soon as you got jumped out of that plane, just everything hit you at once. The prop blast or the jet blast. And a couple minutes later, you're on the ground. Everybody's like, "Well, how did you land? Did you land on your feet?" And I was like, "No, you landed like a sack of potatoes. You hit the ground." And they're like, "Well, they didn't teach you how." And I was like, "Yes, they taught you a PLF, but that 90% of the time that didn't always work."
Feet, butt, head, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I show people at work, all these, these videos of people jumping out of planes, and they're like, "Wow, you're crazy," and I'm like, "Yeah, but there's people out there that are a lot crazier than I am."
Right, right. So, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Um, I really like I did a couple semesters like when I got out for um computer forensics. Like I don't really remember what I wanted to be when I was like a kid. I know for a while I wanted to do computer forensics and stuff like that. I never got into it. I did a couple semesters of college, and then I got out because it was kind of pricey. So, and I didn't get my college money from the military because I got out early.
Oh,
Uh,
that's right. That's right.
yeah, so I did that, and I've just been I make Slim Jims now. I'm
Oh, really?
oh yeah, I'm a lead over there. Um I I'm over a stuffing room, and I make sure people, you know,
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Did you just say that you're in charge of the stuffing department at the Slim Jim factory?
yeah.
No way. Yeah. Dude, you're famous. I know somebody famous, man. The dude that stuffs the Slim Jims. That's cool, man. I met a guy not long ago that works at the Vienna sausage factory. I thought that was cool.
See, I like Vienna sausages. That seems pretty
See?
good.
See, and now, dude, Jeremy Guenther, everybody, the maker of the Slim Jim, man, stuffer of the what do they call it?
The Slim Jims, the meat, uh,
Oh man, that's
they
cool.
I was they had just did the Savage stuff a couple years back, so I helped.
Where does all the meat and stuff come from? Is that good stuff or is that some kind of gelatin stuff they mix in the daggum?
Um, a lot of it's like frozen, but it's you know with the way everything is done, it's quality meat. There's you know from time to time, we get some really really good stuff in, like top quality stuff. I mean, it's still high quality, but um,
The blue packs of Slim Jims, man. Get the blue packs.
yeah. Um, I mean, I don't eat them anymore because I work around them,
Right,
so I smell
right.
them every day. Um,
You probably smell like a Slim Jim.
yeah. Um, for like when I first started out, I started out in sanitation, but um, when I went to first shift, and I started out in the grinding room, which is where they grind all the meat and mix it all to make the Slim Jims. Um, my wife uh, and I rode together. She worked in the bakery there. They make the school pizzas too, the little rectangular pizzas,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, and like the banquet quesadillas and stuff like that. They also make them at our plant. And I got in the car one day, and she's like, "Man, you gotta go home and take a shower." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "You smell like raw meat." So
Dogs be chasing you down the road.
yeah, I
Oh
think
my
my dog
gosh.
sniffed me for like quite a while.
That's great. Oh my gosh, that's great. Jeremy Gunther, everybody. We're having such a great time here talking about Slim Jims.
Penny just
Oh
said,
my
"Don't ruin
gosh.
my Slim Jim obsession."
Oh, look at Penny. Thanks. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is so great. Don't ruin my Slim Jim session. So, what Slim Jim would you not eat? Is there one of them you wouldn't eat?
Um, like I there's so much that
So they have the flat meats and the tube meats.
they have
Flat
the
meats
tube
or
meats.
tube
The tube
meats?
meats I do. The
Oh, is
tube
that what
meats
you
are the
make?
ones that I do. Yeah, I
Ah,
don't do the flat ones. Those are at a different plant.
oh, watch out.
So
Uh,
that
Oh
plug
my
the plant
God.
in. Starting to die
Starting to
here.
yell at you and tell you that it's about out of service. So do me a favor and we'll begin to close out. But brag to me a little bit about your family. We talked about your new wife, and we know you have a child. Tell me a little bit about those folks.
Um, I met my wife probably I'd say about 10 years ago, something like that. I was working on third shift at Walmart. Um, yeah, I'm one of them guys. um, but I worked on third shift, and she had worked there for a little bit. Um, and we became, I guess, friends a little bit. And I was dating this girl at the time, and she hung out with my girlfriend at the time. So after her and I broke up, um, we started hanging out. Me and my wife started hanging out. Then things went on from there. She got me in at ConAgra. That's the place that makes the Slim Jims and stuff. She got me in there. She's got a very beautiful daughter. Her daughter's 7 years old. Um, she's a really great mother to my son and her daughter. Um, Great wife to me. Um, but she's a stay-at-home mom. She takes care of my nephew. He's a type 1 diabetic. He got um, diagnosed when he was like 10 months. So she takes care of him. Um, thank God for the disability stuff that I get. That helps out a lot. That helps, you know, take care of the things I need to take care of to make sure that she stays home and stuff like that. Um, my son, he's getting ready to go to high school. Um, I just got custody of him last year, so he's been with me for the past year. Um,
Yay.
so I and her daughter is basically my daughter. I've known her since she was 2 years old, so um, I take care of her. I take care of you know my son and everything. Take care of the bills and everything like that. Um, but I do. I love my family. Got a great family. Um, got my mom and my dad are very supportive of me and whatever I do. Um, I got one grandparent left. She's still kicking. And she's a great woman too. You know, so uh, that's basically about it. I got a dog and a cat too, but they're a
I
real
love it.
pain.
Oh my gosh. We're here with Jeremy Guenther, Slim Jim Stuffer, and Paratrooper, and General Cool Guy, man. It's been fun hanging out with you, dude. I've enjoyed it so much. Thank you for agreeing to tell your story on Heroes Live tonight. What would you have any like advice for yourself looking back on your life? Would you have anything that you might look back on and say, 10 years from now, I wish or I want to, or you got anything to think about, that you would give advice maybe to yourself in 10
Yeah,
years from now or something?
yeah. I would. You know, I'd basically say, get your crap together. You know, I mean, yeah, I've I've done a lot of good things for myself, but there's still some changes that have to be made, to better myself, to better, you know, other people that, I try to help and stuff like that. I know that, you know, Ross Para, he's done so much, you know, good thing or so many good things that, you know, just I guess it's kind of like a I don't know how you say it, kind of like something I look up to, someone I look up to, you
Yeah,
know,
right. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
seeing the stuff on Facebook. I've never actually talked to him or anything like that, but just seeing all the stuff that, you know, the 3480A and, veterans and stuff like that is, you know, inspiring. You
Amen.
know,
Amen.
um,
Amen. Well, look, I had a great time. Thank you so much for hanging out. And what I was wondering is maybe we could pretend Army for a minute, and I'll call you to attention, and then you salute and sign out. Does that sound good?
yes.
All right,
Um,
sounds good.
how do
Yeah,
you how do you sign out again?
you just say Private Guenther signing out. That's all you got to
Okay,
say.
I can do
Sound
that.
good? All right, here we go.
Hold on a minute. I got to move my
Soldier.
chair.
Yeah, you don't have to stand up. You can if you want. You
Oh,
got to be fine. Yeah, look at
I
that
got
Slim
a,
Jim. I
yeah, I got
love
a
it.
Slim Jim shirt on.
I
There we
love it.
go.
I love it. All right, soldier, attention.
Private Gunther signing out.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Thanks, buddy. It's been a blast. Yay!
Thank you. I had a
Oh
good time
my
too.
gosh, yeah.